Those who abuse them tear at the fabric of our society and weaken our nation. Corruption does not target us, but it targets our children. Its primary aim is to ravage their hope, destroy their humanity. Therefore, as elders entrusted with the governance of this province, we must always imagine ourselves walking in those soft, untamed socks of infants and toddlers, innocent and devastating to a better tomorrow, deserving to a better tomorrow. Let us remember, the National Freedom Party itself was born from a womb of a woman, the late Zanelega Magwaza-Msibi. She taught us compassion, honesty, selflessness. Our decision to reconsider our participation in the current government of national unity is grounded on those principles: compassion, honesty, and selflessness. We know that every decision we make today will shape the lives of our children and grandchildren. Our conscience, rooted in Christian values or any religious values and the teachings of our founder, does not allow us to be complicit in lies and the destruction of this province. We are in the inheritors of her tireless work, and we cannot soil the untainted legacy of Magwaza-Msibi. Under the current leadership of Premier Ntuli, accountability, honesty have withered. The people of KwaZulu-Natal are asking us difficult questions, and sadly we cannot answer them. This administration is a clinic of political elites, unwilling to communicate openly, treating the electorate as if they are fools. Yet these are the same people who placed us in power. We cannot continue to undermine them. A dangerous perception is that this government of unity is a government of corruption. The National Freedom Party refuses to be judged in that light. Even within the GPU, we ask questions on the behalf of the electorate, which are met with silence, arrogance, exclusion. We are sick and tired of the big brother mentality in this GPU. We are treated not as partners, but as pawns. We are being abused in this relationship, and I ask, how can we fight abuse in society when we too are victims of it? The lies must stop now. The current Premier has failed to convene any forum for a meaningful monitoring and evaluation of our interests, which were discussed during our political bilaterals when the GPU was established, either politically or administratively. We are not alone in this disappointment. We must concur our stance with Comrade Francois Rogers, the leader of the Democratic Alliance in this province. He called for a bilateral meetings amongst all 4 GPU partners to iron out our differences, yet the Premier continues to hide skeletons in the closet together with the leadership of the ANC. The truth is hidden in the 2025 Scopa Treasury Report. The 2025 Treasury Report cries out for decisive leadership. The Department of Transport, led by MEC Duma, with a staggering 34.4 billion of irregular expenditure. The Department of Health closely follows with 24 billion. The Department of Education stands with 5.7 billion. The Premier's office itself has chaos. Senior, capable civil servants are leaving in droves. The corridors whisper of purges and victimization. The National Freedom Party cannot and will not tolerate politicization of civil servants. Public servants must serve according to their job descriptions and not to their political loyalty. We thought we had moved beyond an era of party loyalists masquerading as administrators. We have also learned that the acting director general is simultaneously serving as a supply chain director, a blatant violation of governance ethics. Also, that luxury trip of over 2 million to the United States is noted as well, which answers were not given to the people of KwaZulu-Natal. Gender-based violence in the office of the Premier. We cannot remain silent about the shameful incident involving Dr. Nhlanhla Mkhize, the former Director General who reportedly suffered a physical attack in her office by Melusi Ndima, the former youth director. The United Nations defines violence against women and children, one of the most prevalent human rights violations in the world. And yet it happened in the highest office in our province. At the head of this was the 100 million rand youth fund meant to uplift young entrepreneurs. The Premier publicly promised an independent investigation into these funds were distributed. To this day, we have had nothing. Gender-based violence incidents were ignored. The beneficiaries of the youth fund remained a mystery. The Department of Education has been placed under administration by the Treasurer, MEC Rogers, empowered by Section 18 of the PFMA. Why? Because the department subverted procurement processes in awarding National School Nutrition Program tenders. The NFP was very loud to call upon the Premier to have a backbone, and he failed to do what he was supposed to do. Even the DA spokesperson, Sakile Mngadi, revealed that companies leaked to the political figures, including one previously directed by himself, the Honorable Shomuka, which he was mumbling while explaining it on national television. Were beneficiaries of special needs school across KwaZulu-Natal and are on the brink of collapse due to delayed subsidies and inadequate funding. Most vulnerable amongst are, again, the victims of greed. KZN Treasury accused MEC Duma of Transport of being riddled with corruption, a claim echoed by the Auditor General. We are talking about 34 billion in irregular expenditure, 672 million rands of questionable transport tenders, 146 million rands in unexplained contract variations. The head of department, Mr. Siboniso Mbele, has been suspended amid these allegations, yet the Premier continues to lure the electorate with empty words, repeating, we are building a capable, ethical, and developmental state. But let us speak the truth. Ayikho into eyenzakalayo. Uxhashaza abantu bakithi. Abantu bakithi are continuing to suffer under this leadership of Mr. Tamintula. There is no capable state being built here. Only decay, only betrayal, a call to return for our founding values. All that VZ Kamagwaza Msibi fought for is to bring burned down by this administration. Let it be known that the National Freedom Party, with its single vote, we cannot remain silent. Let it be known that the NFP was born from a womb of a rural woman whose hands built this movement with honesty and hope. Her words echo in us. Let us fight for the poorest of the poor. Let us go into the houses of those that are in need. But we forged the government of provincial unity so we can champion those words with this single seat that we have. And we cannot betray the people of KwaZulu-Natal. We do not serve for positions. We serve for principle. We are not driven by power, but by purpose. We shall never trade our values for temporary benefits. The National Freedom Party stands for the truth, accountability, and the future of our children. Amanga waphele namhlanje. Asibe abaholi abaqotho. iKwaZulu-Natal isithembile ngalesi sihlalo esodwa and asifuni ukuxhaphaza abantu bakithi. So, on those words, members of the media, it is for this reason that the NFP echoed ukuthi we do not trust the Honorable Premier Thamsanqa Ntuli. I thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I think, Chair, it's over to you. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Honorable President. I think the President has been eloquent. Now it's a time for questions and answers. But maybe before we can get into that, President, I think I must indicate that recently there has been a statement that has become everyone's cup of soap. And the statement was actually issued by the leadership that is before you through the office of the President. Surprisingly, there was those pepcones of fake structures who are not actually legitimate structures gone out and denounced a party position, a position that has been issued by a legitimate elected structure in December 2023, which is the national structure that is before you. I must be on record today to say, in the NFP we do not have a youth structure. We do not have a youth structure in the NFP, but the preparations are actually at the advanced stage to stage a national youth conference. Whoever who just go out and masquerade as an authentic and legitimate youth structure, that's misleading. I just wanted to set the record straight that even you, members of the media, please be fair to us. Can we not entertain just anyone? You remember there are others who are saying they are also president of the NFP, they were elected in 2019, but logically speaking, the term of office is 5 years. But we cannot turn a blind eye and be at the denial stage to say there are those members who have been infiltrated by external forces who are within the NFP. They are masquerading as NFP members by day, but having night meetings with our enemy. And you have to ask yourself a big question as to why. May I start by a foresight of hand? Clarity-seeking questions, and also indicate that the questions will actually not be directed to the president, but the question will be directed to the leadership that is before you, which is the leadership of the NFP. Now, you should not be surprised if anyone will respond to the question. It will depend that who the question is directed to and which the relevant office bearer that is supposed to respond to that particular question that I'm going to raise. So let me start with a first foresight of hand. Then we will give the leadership an opportunity to respond. And the second round will come, but rest assured, every one of you will be given an opportunity to ask questions so that you will get out of this place being satisfied. You will then introduce yourself and introduce the media entity or media houses that you are coming from. Then you start questioning. Let me start here, and my sister, my brother over there, please come with your sequence.
Okay, thank you. My name is Harrison. I don't know from my colleague Umkhanyakude, if the president can summarize in this is the first, and after that we can ask questions. I don't know if my colleague can respond.
Yeah.
Okay. My question is, you mentioned that there are certain leaders of the party that will be subjected to disciplinary action. Can you be specific? Which are those leaders that will be described?
I think it's clear. Yes.
And secondly, there are conducting certain that were issued by the party, but unfortunately, we don't see any provincial leadership here. Did you invite them to come to verify their status at the moment? And if you did, part of that.
I'm not sure whether I should repeat the question or it has been captured.
It has been captured quite clearly. I would request that the Deputy National Chair, Kalisake, whose responsibility is to deal with issues of discipline, for him to respond accordingly, because that belongs to his office. And I think the ASG will respond to the issues of invitation, but I don't think you need to respond. It is very clear this is an NEC meeting, and issues of deployment are a national competence. However, we do have members of the province who, when we said we're coming to the media, are here. There's a gentleman behind you. He's the Deputy Provincial Chair. He's seated there. But I just wanted to clarify and to say that NFP yonke has akekho ngazukuthi kune press conference. I think DNC, you can come in since it's your field. Respond to the question.
Yes,
respond to your question.
Yes, the DNC will come, but before, may I propose that we exhaust the first set of hands, then thereafter the leadership responds. just my proposal that let us allow questions to flow. Then after they've finalized the line of questioning, then the leadership will then respond. Yes, my sister.
Thank you very much. I am Mhlongo from the SABC. I've been covered on the first question regarding the conduct of members and certain members and leaders defying the party. And on the second one, I'd also just like to add, there has been back and forth and conflicting statements from the party. And I know sort of when you've spoken about the youth league or there's no
youth movement
structures yet in the NFP. However, one of the conflicting statements came from your current member in the provincial legislature, being Umkhanyakude. Obviously now she is a part of a legitimate structure. So what would be your comment to what she said, refuting the statement that had been issued by the Office of the President regarding the GPU? My next question would be around her as well. Her matter is currently in the Pietermaritzburg High Court. And I'll direct this to the President. President, it seems as though there's a move to remove Umkhanyakude from a position both as leading the province but also as a member of the provincial legislature. If you can give us more details in terms of why do you want her, why does the party leadership then want her to be removed from her position? And then another question, and I do apologize, I've got quite a lot because we don't have a chance to engage with you. The other one is, and I'll direct this to you, President, there's been some accusations that you are gambling with the party for your own personal ambitions. You are gambling with the party for your own personal ambitions. What would be your response to this? I'll leave it here for now, maybe in the second round I'll pass questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. My name is Umkhanyakude. I'm Nisi from ENCA. I've been partly covered by my colleagues, but you'll just pardon me. We seem to have not gotten the time frame of this media briefing. So you'll excuse me if I ask you just to maybe rehash on some of the points made in the initial statement. You accuse the government of provincial unity of corruption. Maybe just summarize some of the instances. I know you spoke about some of them that have to do with the Department of Transport and some of the other departments, but if you could just summarize where those allegations stem from of the GPU being a government of corruption. Who is the big brother that you allude to within the GPU? Is it the IFP? Who is it that you feel is deploying some big brother tendencies? Could you just clarify and maybe put to rest the issue of Mr. Jeremiah Mabunda? What is he in this party? What's the whole story around this application to the Supreme Court of Appeal? If you could just take us into your confidence as to what his role is, because Mr. Barnes, he says you should be regarded as an ordinary member of the party and not of the president. So if you could just educate us, I suppose, because there's been so much litigation in the NFP, it's so hard to keep track of what is actually happening. The whole stance on the government of provincial unity, is this genuinely for the benefit of residents, or perhaps mainly a maneuver to push factional interests? I say this is the national leadership, but if you're speaking about a province of KwaZulu-Natal where you hold the one seat, I would only suppose that Ms. Mbanishinga would be here, the chairperson of the NFP in KwaZulu-Natal. So is it safe to say that this could be a classic case of just some factional battles, or are we perhaps wrong in that particular instance? I think for now I'll rest there and give up. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That concludes the first set of hands. Then I will come with the second set of hands. But Leadership President, through you, may I give a responsorial comment just to only one question? from the lady that is pertaining about the contradictory statement.
Sorry, can we just move the mics please to you so we're able to hear?
So when each person speaks, can we have your media person coordinating with the mics?
Okay,
Oh, okay.
not a problem.
Who is the media person?
Yeah, can you do it? Yes.
Yes.
Can you assist us?
And we need to also address the issue of community.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Sorry about that. I was still saying, may I respectfully be allowed to actually give a little flesh to the question that we have raised pertaining the contradictory statement that has been issued by the chairperson of the province of KwaZulu-Natal of the NFP. You will allow me to say, I think as the NFP, we are a political party just like other political parties. Hence, I request that we actually be given a space to exhaust the matter internally. If you recall quite vividly on my opening statement, I did allude on the fact that we hardly understand that why some of our senior leaders whom the party deployed on strategic position, but are even more than willing to go out and denounce the party position in public. That on its own tells that there is something sinister about it. But I think it's fair enough that as the party, we give in a space, do internal processes. Soon internal processes are concluded. Then we'll convene the meeting of this magnitude. Tell the people of South Africa through you. Thank you. No, it's fine. Maybe let me assist you.
No, it's Caesar. It's only Caesar.
Okay.
Thank you. I think we have to respond to clarify matters. I think it's you, Ayanda, you spoke about the self-proclaimed youth movement leader. I was going to ask the Office of the National Organizer just to comment, does Mnumzane Glenn have a membership of the National Freedom Party? Because things are taken from your office.
No.
Now that's clear. Mnumzane Glenn Ndubelele. Let us state his situation. Glenn resigned from the National Freedom Party on the 18th of March 2024. He personally sent a WhatsApp message to me as a party leader, and I think he sent it to an email, if not,
NFP email account.
and sent an email to the NFP account. Now, in terms of the NFP constitution, if you resign, you are allowed to be given a membership card after 4 years. Now, if I may remind you, the opening remarks by the Treasurer General, we spoke about ill discipline, external forces coming to the NFP to cause rumble and fire. Because if you know yourself that you have resigned and you read the Constitution, then you go to UKOS, which I'm disappointed in UKOS because UKOS should have come to us. Then they take Mr. Nobody, who is nothing but umkhovu wabantu abathile, to come and cause disruption and undermine this leadership. Because if you read kuma news outlets, especially kuma social media, they are saying the party leadership is against Mr. Barnes, if you read the internet. But here before you is the National Executive at the NEC meeting taking resolutions. Now you see, Uguti, there are these factors that are constantly trying to destroy the National Freedom Party, and they want to make it, divide this National Executive by saying, I take individual decisions. This is the National Freedom Party's decision. I wanted to clarify about Mr. Ndubelele, a non-member who claims and portrays himself as the youth movement. I think in our opening statement we made it clear that we are focusing on building NFP youth movement structures. There's this thing again where they're saying, my brother from NCA, they're saying I'm gambling with parties what?
It came from my colleague.
Oh, they're saying I'm gambling with the party for my own personal gains. I think we have responded to that allegations because the party structures is here and we have been taking the party decisions and not an individual decisions. We will deal with those people. The question is, it is Zulu Kalisaka, Sashisa Inyanga, Wakashim Kov, Silwa ne IFP, ne corrupt leadership, Kamnumza ne Tamsan Antul. Kwazopring animkov esingayazi qhamuka izoti iNFP ayikhulumi ngezwe lodwa. Nemfeneke imithakatha seqhamukilanga. Ithi mibaleka ayiduke. Ibaleke liyemzi nomthakatho oyithumile. And sesiyabona ke imithakathi ethuma ukuthi izo destroy NFP, and we're going to deal with them. And we are not playing. The big brother mentality, I think ENCA, it's there. And ever since we have given IFP lead, they've had that mentality and statements. It started with the IFP's president. Yet we agreed that NFP will have to take lead as Zululand, leadership, chairperson of deployment. Then he goes on meet and says that the interest yabantu Zululand ikhomba ukuthi fanele kuphathe inkatha. Angithi washo njalo. I-interest yabantu KwaZulu-Natal ifanele kuphathe MK. IFP's just got nothing but 18%, if I'm not mistaken. So Skatele, that big brother mentality. And when they wanted premiership, they came here and asked us to go to meetings. And when they heard that Ayanda, they ran away njengomsuzo. Abaphindanga babuya. Sisho lokho kumasikhuluma nge-big brother mentality. I think we have to be clear on this one. Umnumzana uMavundla yilunga le-National Freedom Party elidala elihlushwa ukukhohliswa izingane nabantu abadala within the party. Uyikhansela lethu eZululand, ENCA. There was an illegitimate conference in 2019. And in 2020 leadership, during that time there was leadership debacle. Man Kumbula, Okamagwaza Msibi was sick. Engazi ukuthi kwenzakalani. Baba xabana bodwa abaholi ngaleso sikhathi. We have to say this to the members of the media ngoba sifuna ukuyiclarify lento. Ngoba nabo abathakathi bona laba baphephandaba abathanda ukukhipha izinto engekho ngo-NFP. Masikhuluma ngezinto eziphilayo besizibe. Baya kwi-conference, bafika kwi-conference bakhethana bodwa ngeyintshebe nangeyithupha. The leaders at that time basiwe enkantolo, ngixolisa ukusho njalo baholi, ngiyaxolisa, but iyadisturba lento ukuthi they keep on displaying divisions. They are displaying factionalism kwa NFP, but portraying themselves ukuthi bayithanda i-NFP kanti abayithandi bayibulala. Bafika bachithwa inkantolo ENCA, my brother. Sorry to call you ENCA, I just didn't get your name. Kwasikhona. Ngicela ukisho ngesiZulu ngoba predominantly abantu bethu they are Zulu speaking. bafika bachithwa inkantolo nkosikhona kwaphuma ijudgment bathula iminyaka emibili if not emithathu kwathiwa le interim national executive ngo 2022 excuse me sesibheke kwi conference kwavuka umnumzane usikhumbuzo Boniface Zulu wathi ufuna ukuaphila lesi sinqumo ngikhulume ngoganga ngikhulume ngemkhovu ngikhulume ngemfene ithakathayo now ngisho lokho hayi kaba ngimdelile kodwa ngidelela isenzo sakhe asenzayo if umnumzane Boniface Zulu ehola impesheni khali sakhe uyithatha phi imali ye Supreme Court of Appeal uhola impesheni is a pensioner by profession. Where does he get money to take the NFP to the Supreme Court of Appeal? Baqale basise enkantolo eMaritzburg eHigh Court but bofuna condonation for leave to appeal. Where did they get money to take NFP to court to seek for a condonation just because now NFP is going for conference to elect legitimate leadership? Ubani lo sathana omkhulu ongafuni ukuthi NFP ibe nobuholi obusemthethweni okwazi ukufanda amakhehla nezalikazi ukuthi aye enkantolo. Ile mbuzo ufanele sibuze wona. Ngiyazi baholi ngizobuyena inquestion anything ngikhuluma kabi kodwa fanele simshaye usathane phambi kwabantu beyintatheli ngoba ngabe bhidliza iqembu lika VZ sisuke sikhona. Mase kuthiwa NFP factionalism kuneyintatheli ke lezi ezinkulu ku social media ekwazi ukusenda a wrong narrative. So leyo nto iqala lapho. And they've been wanting to cling on to power. They tried before a conference yethu on the 13th of December, chairperson of deployment. By enkantolo ukuzama ukuvimba conference, their matter was dismissed. Wazama. Now we must ask your question. Umavundla yi-councillor. An ordinary councillor eZululand. Uyithatha phi imali ukuya enkantolo ukuyomisa conference. Iphinde imhlule basise electoral court on the 8th of March in 2024. Beyofuna amandla. He doesn't have money to go to court. He's a simple part-time councillor of the NFP. I'm speaking in this fashion with disappointment because bathathi imali ko sathana abafuna ukubulala iNFP. There's a different version of trying to kill the NFP. In 2015 bakhokhela abaholi ukuthi singalingenela ukhetho siyakwazi lokho. Ngoba akakwazi umuntu athi ukhohliwe ukhokheli ukhetho. But there are emails from IEC in PLC meetings. Usathana omusha ke manje is to control ill-disciplined members in the NFP in Koskon. Now, legally speaking, there are orders. Kune order ba disputayo as leadership of 2019 abazama ukuyifixa Supreme Court of Appeal. There's this individual esamkhethayo ngo 2023 December umnumzane Thwala, who then was preparing conference yethu, takes us to court and say that a conference I prepare yena must be declared illegal. I want to explain this ukuze amalunga ethe NFP nabavoti be-NFP bazi ukuthi sinotwayo olubo olungaphakathi enolutwayo sehlisa isithunzi and abantu baphelelwa yithemba nge-NFP ngenxa yabo. And on the 2nd of May, that matter was dismissed. And we were declared Koskona by the court of law that we were duly elected as the National Freedom Party. Then, I think a month ago, we see this statement written on social media by this self-proclaimed Mlungisi Mncube, who calls himself the national spokesperson of the NFP, saying now that their matter as Supreme Court of Appeal has been placed for a hearing on 21 November, automatically they become leaders of the NFP. I think abameli mabo babadla imali and babadla imali inkosi at the expense of the National Freedom Party. So they go portraying themselves as leaders of the NFP. They are not. If you are IEC, we are running the organization. We are the people that are running this organization and nobody else. Saying, members of the media, if you don't respect us but respect uVZ nemsebenzi yakhe, sazini ukuthi sikhona, yekani wathi omunye umholi impukane ziyawathanda amasimba amasha. I thank you. Deployment matters. Nkosikhona, I think it's your question ukuthi fanele ngabe khona iprovince. Deployment is a matter of national competence. There's the national chairperson of deployment, Comrade uThuba Thwala, uyena udeploy abantu nekomiti lakhe. So makukhulunywa nge-coalition, because it's us, we must issue a mandate. Ithini ufanele sihlalela njengekomiti sizodila ngakho. Am I correct, Chairperson? So it's not a provincial matter. You can look at our constitution. So that's why Sila, that is why masikhuluma nge-GPU, even in the beginning, it was the National Freedom Party in this very, at the other hotel. Sasila sizokhuluma ukuthi we have decided to get into this GPU. And anisibuzanga ukuthi why province ingekho. Siyanicela ama internal factions ayingawangeni bantu bendaba. Sidedeleni sirani organization. I thank you. Ayizosebenzisa la invoice namhlanje. I think I move ukugcina sihlalo session. As I said, you papers.
Thank you very much, Honorable President. I think we've also omitted an imperative thing here, President, that really need us to address it. You see, the National Freedom Party entered the GPU not to serve an interest of a certain political parties. We entered a GPU also to serve the interests of the people of South Africa, particularly the people of KwaZulu-Natal. Now, if we find a situation whereby we are being undermined, then we have a problem. That is why we are giving an ultimatum. That if the issues that we have outlined are not being attended as a matter of urgency, let us tell you, people of the Mid and the people of South Africa, that sitting here, we've got an invitation from the MKP. And in our NEC meeting today, earlier on, we have resolved that we are going to attend that particular meeting. We cannot allow a situation whereby we are being undermined as a political party. And it's even worse to learn that some of the political parties that are undermining us, we are all the same as regional parties, because we are fighting over a certain constituencies in a certain region. But they want to bully us as if they are big political parties. We can't allow that. There is no reason to be bullied like this. So we are issuing an ultimatum. And we want to set the record straight. We are going to meet the MKP and we'll discuss and take a decision as the leadership. Without further waste of time, may I note a second set of hands, which I think is going to be a last set of hands. I note you, my sister. You will introduce yourself and the mid houses you are coming from. I note you, my brother over there, once again. just only two. Oh, I note you, my sister. Then we fine. May I check all hands once and for all? I note you, my brother, and I think that's the last hands, President. Thank you.
Yeah. Can they come, Chair?
Yes.
Questions? Okay.
CSN Local from Newsroom Africa. I have 3 questions. I believe the first one you already answered it. It was going to be on the MKP invitation, but perhaps to extend on it, can we expect the NFP to revert once you've had that meeting, and possibly when can we expect the party to actually revert on that meeting, if you will be coming back to us? And then the second one is, what would stop the NFP from supporting the motion of no confidence, and are you set on your stance? Will you not be changing what you said regarding the motion of no confidence? Or is there still a possibility that you could likely change regarding what you said in terms of the motion of no confidence?
Okay.
And then the last one, has the possibility of a motion of no confidence been discussed at all by the NFP MEC?
By the
NFP MEC. The MEC.
Oh, has she discussed it?
Yes.
Okay.
Especially because we know that she has distanced herself from what was said in the statement.
Okay.
Yes, brother, in the camp.
Thank you once again, Ms. Ontoil and Sam. Can I just ask that we go back to this one point on just giving a summary? And I understand that your constituency largely is Zulu-speaking people, but if you could just in English give us the summary on why you believe the GPU is a government of corruption, why you don't trust the Premier, and I suppose it boils down to what has gone wrong really. Because seemingly you started out well, and a year down the line you seem to be in a very bad state.
Is that the last hand?
According to
Yeah.
at least what you presented.
Someone's coming.
The Treasurer speaks about an ultimatum, but it already seems as if you've made up your mind about the meeting with the MK party. Because unless I'm getting you wrong, if you could just clarify. Because you say we are going to meet with the MK party. So it seems as if there's not really an ultimatum. Whatever happens, we're going to meet with them nonetheless. Or are you saying we are going to wait to see what the response is on the grievances we've raised, and subsequent to that there will then be a decision as to whether we respond to the invite of the MKP? If you could just clarify that for us.
Okay.
And then simply put, again, the question that arose in the first round, let me maybe put it in this way. The disciplinary action, will that be against Ms. Mbalishin? Just as a simple question. Is she one of those that you're going to be taking disciplinary action against?
Okay.
I think I will rest there. I think I'm covered on most of... Oh, just back to the MKP issue. Obviously, if you truly go ahead with the withdrawal, the government collapses, in essence, and we kind of then are on a scale of 2. But what are then the probabilities? Because you along the MK cannot constitute a government. Do you know if they lobby any other parties? Would you want them to lobby any other parties? And which parties would those be in your preference? Thank you.
I think that was the last. Oh, okay.
No, that's left it two.
Okay.
May I be allowed to continue facilitating? I think the last one is the gentleman over there. There has been some before, or the lady. Okay, please come to this.
Okay, thank you again. President, there was just something you touched on regarding the Zululand, the governing of the Zululand district municipality. And I do remember that at a time there was, you felt as though the IFP had reneged on a decision that had been made that the NFP would then govern Zululand. Am I correct to say that you still, as a party, want control of the Zululand district municipality? And if they were to give you Zululand, would you continue to support the current GPU partners? And then my other question is regarding the Umkhanyakude municipality, which seems to have set off what we are seeing now, the talks between, supposed talks between the MKP and the ANC, etc. But in that municipality leadership, the IFP, the NFP supported the IFP to remove the ANC, and that was the removal of the mayor, So if you have an issue with the IFP at a provincial level, but at a local level, you are working together. So I just wanted to find what is happening in terms of the current relationship or working arrangement between yourselves and the IFP when it comes to the local municipalities. Then my last one will be also be on the MKP, just to follow from my colleagues. President, you and I were at your media briefing when you announced your support for the GPU. That was last year. And you were very clear about your why you taken that decision and how you felt about the MKP party then. You are now saying, and this is a statement that you issued, you're now saying and acknowledging that the MKP had an overwhelming support by the electorate, and you now believe it's prudent to allow the MKP to take the leading role in any future provincial governance formation. And I'm quoting from your statement. What has made you change now? And why are you now turning the tune on the MKP and what you had initially said about the party? Thank you.
Okay, thanks, my sister. Yes, we will come.
I would listen to Israel's too. Largely covered by Nisi and Umhlongo. But in as far as the GPU is concerned, how many meetings have you ever had? Has there been any meetings between GPU partners? Also, the second question would be, what is your overview, your overall view of Balishinga's work as the MEC of Social Development in the province? And lastly, you remain the kingmaker of who constitutes the government in these talks. Should the MK party invite you over to now join them in bed, would you, and why? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Over to you, President.
I think they're asking us different same questions in a different way when it comes to the issue here, MKP. But asqalela, because I'll come back to you because lokokubuza ikhona kwi press conference statement yethu ukuthi suka kuphi ama allegations esiwashoyo. Asqalela, the National Freedom Party received an invitation from the MKP, and we have taken an NEC decision to go and meet with the MKP. We were not there when they started their motion of no confidence. There was no meeting. When we raised that we do not have confidence in the Premier, it is then when they sent us an invitation. And we have a policy. Njomane, if you remember, last year we said we'll meet with any party to talk about government. And between all of us that are here, through the corridors, all parties have met with MK and tried to seal a deal. That is why we are saying in that statement, there is a general feeling in all partners to say MKP must take lead. And we are just repeating the very same thing and emphasizing, even the president of the IFP told us through you media people ukuthi i-interest yabantu eZululand ithi because i-IFP yalida kulide yona. Siphinda lo magama nathi. Sithi interest yabantu kwaZulu-Natal ithi MKP my part. Because nabo mabekhuluma ne-MKP bayikhulumela how they can survive. But we are placing it ukuthi we haven't withdrawn from the GPU, angithi. We have merely saying as NFP, fanele clarify. IFP, I keep Tamsan Ntuli because if you recall in the media statement about 3 weeks ago, Sati must grow a backbone. Namanje sasho ukuthi akabe nomgogodla njengo premier. Now I'm going to Nkosikona's question. Into ithi lento corruption. I have to mix Zulu and English, brothers. We are saying from the Scopa report, Treasury report, the Department of Transport leads with a staggering of 34.4 billion in irregular expenditure. That's corruption. That's maladministration. We are saying the Department of Health closely follows with 24 billion. The Department of Education, 5.7 billion. The MEC Hlomuga, we even said he was mumbling on the news to say a former company that he was leading, when he resigns from that company, becomes MEC, automatically that company goes and get a tender of giving our children food. Inkohlakaleni ukaphuleyo nje. Njengomuntu ongashidabeli ohamba phambi kwethu. Ulindeni umnumzane premier ukuthi amdispele. We are saying as NFP Tina, because I want to go to the ultimatum. 1, IFP must withdraw Uthamintuli. 2, ANC must withdraw Hlomuga as MEC. 3, it must withdraw Nomagugu as MEC. We are meeting the MKP ngoba sihlangana kwi common denominator ethi Uthamintuli is failing to lead. And nakhona siyokhuluma nabo siyoza ukuthi bathina sikaze sihlale nabo. There's a question that came, said, so we will tell you when we take a decision. I want to let you know, members of the media, in our media statement, we said we are not here for positions. If it means we become an opposition, members of the media, vele sathola isithe yodwa. So hlale eceleni sibadedele bexhaphaza abantu bakithi. They came to us because they couldn't form the majority. We haven't changed our tune, members of the media. Yekani ukuthi manizwe into nge-MKP seniyotatazela. Sengathi kufizwe ngathi mhlawumbe makunikezwe MKP kuzofa abantu kwaZulu-Natal. No, nothing's going to happen. If you look at the electorate, in most provinces where the party was leading, that party was given a chance to lead. The MKP voted for Panyaza Lusufu to take Gauteng, if I'm not mistaken. Kanti kwenze njani kwaZulu-Natal? Manezwi igama le-MKP, nomanezwi NFP izohlala ne-MKP, seniyolunywa utwayi. Don't scratch where it doesn't itch. I think the ultimatum we are giving, I want to emphasize. Sithi IFP ayikhipha uThamsanqa Ntuli, ANC ayikhipha uMEC Hlomuga, ayikhipha uNomagugu. Then we can talk. We are further saying, I want to respond to this ZDM matter. It's a matter of principle, ma'am. You can't come to us and say, let's form government. Then we lay all our expectations. When we have met your expectations, you run away like air. It's not only about Zululand. We said, let's go and sit down and talk about GLU in all affected municipalities. For your information, it's Zululand, Unongoma, Uthugela, Alfred Duma, Mhlathuze, Inkosilanga Balele, uKhahlamba, nasemadlangeni. We wanted us to talk. If Sikabnisha, let all 4 of us govern, even at local government level. If you remember our press statement, we had said that we are proposing, let us have not monthly, annual, quarterly meetings, to monitor the performances of deployees. also to monitor our political standings. Ngoba vele kosopolitics uhamba masigxobane. To respond to this question, sagcina ukuhlala nabo mhlazane siyobabeka. Bane babekwa bavala umnyango bahamba ngamalamba akuhlaza badla le mali njengoba beyidla namhlanje. Let us place it on record. Our deployee with department, we are satisfied with it, with her, excuse me. But izinto azenzayo eceleni enza ukuthi CNEC siphambane naye njengoba beshilo usihlalo eqala umhlangano. Akukho futhi okunye. And the matter between her and the NFP NEC is in court. So asingaphawuli ngayo. Mase siqedile enkantolo sizobuye sizonipresentela. Into yokuthi sithi sizo NFP MK iyoloba other parties. No. We are going to speak to the MK because we share a common person. We don't have trust in the Premier. That's our position. We're not going to talk about anything else. As the NFP, we've never taken any resolution when it comes to that. In matter of Umkhanyakude, it's again a matter of ill discipline that we cannot protect your employees, Comrade Chair. Mnumzane Sibiya went and negotiated for himself with Nenkata. The NFP did not give him authority. If you recall, here abanye abantu Mnumzane Sibiya babiza nge-NEC ngoba bathi bayi leadership ka-2019. So lento ayenze laphana uzenzele yena njengoba sebemphindile ngakwenzile. We are not involved. Ngiyacabanga umdaka lokhu akwenza kuye uyena wakwenza kumdaka. Asingene ke thina si-National Freedom Party, we are not involved. I think we have explained all your questions. And my brother, I've responded to you to say, this is where we come from when we say there's allegations of corruption.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. Are you going to be taking disciplinary action against immigration?
The matters before court. Once we're done with court issues, everyone is subjected to the constitution of the National Freedom Party. Akekho ngaphansi ongaphezulu komthetho we-NFP. Chairperson, I think.
So I was thinking that the chairperson has been giving the vote of no confidence. No, thank you very much. This brings us to the end of our media briefing. We are very grateful for your support. What you are doing, wherever we extend the call of invitation, you always show out. So we are very grateful about that. You may assist yourself at the back there. There is something that has been arranged for you. Thank you very much. Amen.
Sesicishile ngithi chair leadership kunabantu kuna media houses that want interviews one on one. So can we have those? And DP and ASG, can you just stand with me? And deployment chair, can we stand? Can we do it behind here? Okay. Siyabonga.
Anyone